Hi, this is IK. Welcome to reusable components, React reusable components. Uh, I ask artificial intelligence what is that give me example of reusable components in React. What it means, reusable components. Certainly, reusable components are fundamental concept in modern front-end development, especially in frameworks like React. These components can be created once and then used multiple times throughout an application, which helps to maintain consistency, improve code organization, and make development more efficient. Here are some examples of reusable components. Button component. We use it in application. Card component. I didn't use any card component before material UI card component. Navbar component, use it. Input component, use it. Modal component, we have input component in form. Modal component, it is login. I used for login. A list component. Modal component is when that component go over all other component, and we see it means that we see only that component on the screen, or we see that component over other component. A list component, slider component, tooltip component, icon component, accordion component, etc. Here it is my question. Card component equal. It is a React material UI component. Yes, the card component I mentioned can indeed refer to concept of used in various front-end frameworks, including React Material UI. React Material UI is a popular library that provides a set of pre-designed components following the material designs guidelines. In Material UI, the card component is a reusable UI element used to display information in consistent and visually appealing manner. It's a container component that usually includes a header, content area, and optional actions or buttons. You can customize the content, styling, and layout of the card to suit your application's need. Here's a simplified example of how you might use the Material UI card component. Look at import card from Material card. And here is a card. Look at what must import card, card content, card header, and button. Button, and here is a code for use that. All this card header, card content, button, it is React element. React element. It means that the React element and all that construction, what we see now, all that group of React elements, together would be CSS in our HTML. Would be CSS and would be div HTML. Div inside the div. For example, card would be one. Here is a parent element. Here is a child element. And all that element is div. HTML would be div with CSS. We will see later when I use this card. And target of card and the other element produce that construction with a lot of CSS. It is consistency. Every card is the same, and in all our application, title and content, for example, in post title and post content, would be same designed, consistently designed when I use card for every post. And I can complete redesign this card and use that my card, reusable use that my card. The material UI, there is predefined the default value of this card, but we can change all this and have card formatting, designing how we want. Okay, let's go down. In this example, the card component from material UI being used to create reusable card element. The card header component is used for the header section. Here, coding like this, we call a React element. And you see this HTML element, it is a small case, P. But a React element begin with capital letters, and the button is a React element. But it is every React element there is it is React component. It is a React component, but when we write it in this form, it is in reality calling. It is like we calling function. Call function is name of function with parentheses and parameter inside. But here, call component is function. Call component is React element. React component we call by React element. And React element, instead of parameter function, have parameter. React element, instead of parameter, there is a properties, because React look at to React element as object. React element is object for React. And every object can have properties. And our object, button, variant equal contained, color equal primary. Button here, there is variant props, variant props, and color props. It is short from properties. But when we go to component of button, we will see, but now we don't need it because button is in build. In build, in this situation, it is from material UI, but also there is from React direct button React element, and we don't need go to see because it is in build. But when we customize, when we have our component, and when we see Barren component, customized component is there is when we customize component, when we include like child in other component, we must write, we really call parent component, call child component. And this format of coding means calling child component. Parent component rendered, and in rendering, calling and rendered that child component. And when we open our customize component, if React element, there is properties, that properties will be, or they are, it are parameters in component, in coding component. Okay. Okay, there is a card React component and card material UI component? Yes, you are correct. There is a distinction between the generic concept of card component in React and the specific card component provided by material UI library. We have a lot of library for design. So there is React semantic UI, material UI. We can use all others what exist today, and every of them produce a card element and other element. Material UI card material UI, I don't read, we know what is it now. But generic React card component refers to concept that you can implement using your own custom component and styling in React without relying on any specific library. Give me example of generic React card component. Sure, and here it is. Import card CSS. We must produce that card CSS, and we create object card with parameter title and content, and look at div class name card, div card title, div class name card content, and now produce card. Dot card, it is class, and that class there is that card title, card content, and now we use it. Import React, import card from card, and for example here, look at card with capital letters, title, and the content equal this. Look at here is a properties title and content, but here is parameter in component. It is parameter title and content. All that you experience in my video, but also if you exercise, and now you can exercise, produce that card, and you must need knowledge about CSS. There is a lot of tutorial about CSS, excellent tutorial. Some of the best is and the known is W w3schools, plural.com. It would be generic, it would be customized. It means that React, there is no own card, but use card from other package like semantic user interface, what I use in other 470 application. And everywhere that card is for same group of text, title and content, like principal, and can be others, and button or link inside of that group, below of that text, and also can be author and can be date, published date. Encouraging what means encouraging code reusability and separation of concern? What it means? Look at here. Encouraging code reusability and separation of concern is a software development principle that emphasizes two important concepts. Code reusability, we see that, we know that, we read before about that. It is all that library, React, when we said React library, what library? Library of component, of React element. And we use that React element in all our application. When we use button, we use that, and that it is consistency. Every button is the same. If we use button from semantic user, it would be consistency. If we customize, if we use button from material, it would be consistency and consistent design. And if we can, if we incorporate some of our customized code, okay, finished customize, and again we have consistency through all our application. All button is same. A separation of concern. Separation of concern is design principle that advocates for dividing software application, into distinct sections or modules. It is modular programming. Each responsible for a specific aspect of functionality. For example, in a web application, you might have separate modules for handling data storage, user interface rendering, and the user interactions. This separation makes the code base. For example, we have a form. For user interactions, we have form. Add new post, or update post. We use form. And that form is only form. The component is only one component, only one form, only one functionality. It is interaction, handling data storage. And data storage is, we use for data storage mock server. We use for data storage file, also file in group of other components. And a user interface rendering, which is every component. This separation makes the code base more organized, easier to understand, and more maintainable. Changes in one concern won't directly impact other concerns if they are properly isolated. Material IE element, React element, is isolated. It means we must import that element and use that element. We don't need import around that in context of that. Import something else, for example, something separate, CSS, etc. No, altogether isolated. Import button, use button. Import card, use card in a return section. Okay, it was, but now we can see how I use material card. Material card, a material material UI, here it is, and material React component, get started, and here it is card, left side, search, card. Here it is, card, you can read about that, and here it is, visible. I use that card, and here is a learn more, here is a title, word of day, adjective. I use it published, for example, for a published date. Here is the author, and here is a text, main text. It is title of text. And you see that design. I use that, and I go here to see source GitHub. I copy, you see, for card, you must import card reaction, card content, button and typography, and use it here it is, complete with all element, with all element. What I do, I copy it, copy, and go to trunk application. It is post list. Here in post list, I must go to a return, but here is a content variable. I must look at that variable, that object. Here it is, object card equal, and in equal this constant card is equal all this inside, right? It is a parameter without body. It is arrow function with only parameter, without arrow. And in that in that, look at here, in that practically parenthesis, inside that parenthesis, we have all React elements. And I copy, at first, I copy card content and right here published, because I don't have variable about that. Look at how you decided about font size and typography. It is age 5 level, component, typography, post title. A post title here is variable. And okay, you understand. I copy all that and change and incorporate, include my variable or my static value. Here, post title, look at in curly brackets, it is variable. And author here. And here is a typography of main content. Here is all, I copy all this paragraph, all this here. And card content finished, and card action. Card actions, I include in card actions this, in card actions, this Terari, this if-else association, it is if-else ternary, or here is in form of ternary. It means if condition true, we will see update form. Okay, I copy that part here, and card action finished, and React element finished. It is something that card complete ready for React with the open React fragment, and we can include that card here. Here that it is content, because we have section here, we can remove React fragment. We don't need React fragment, but here it is, content. And I use card, and what I have is Control-C, yes. Now I npm start. Here it is. Title in card, published, author, title, post one, and content. Font here is a body basic font, what we decided last video before this one. And it is consistency. Every card, every post is one card, and that's it. That's it. Thank you for watching this video.